The moment I saw him again. The moment I saw him, I knew. Not because of his face, but because my soul remembered him. We'd met before, not in this life, but in the 72 before it. I shouldn't have remembered, but I did. The way he smiled, the way he once held me like time itself, would vanish. And yet, he walked past me, no flicker of recognition, nothing. I whispered the name he once loved. He turned. His eyes searched mine. Something stirred, then faded. "Do I know you?" he asked. "No," I said, "not yet." So I sat beside him, listening as he spoke about ruins and legends I knew by heart. Even if he forgets me in every lifetime, I'll find him. I always do. Like and subscribe for part 2. There are still 72 lifetimes left, and in each one, he forgets her all over again.
He took me to the cliff without knowing why. He said he didn't believe in fate, but then he asked me to follow him. No reason, just a feeling. We climbed the winding trail behind the village. I knew where it led. How many times had I stood on that cliff with him before? He stopped and looked over the valley. "I feel like I've been here," he whispered. "With someone important." I held my breath. He turned to me. "Why do I feel like I'm supposed to know you?" I smiled gently. "Because you are. You sound like a love story I forgot to live." He walked ahead, standing at the edge of the cliff, wind dancing through his hair, just like the last time, and the time before that. "I come here in my dreams," he said, "and every time, I wake up crying. He doesn't remember me, but his soul does. If your heart's aching too, hit like. And follow this journey, because in part 3, she makes a choice she never made before. This time, I lied to him. He asked, "Have we met before?" And for the first time, I said no. In every other life, I told him the truth too soon, and every time it ended too early. So this time, I lied. "No," I said, "but maybe we were meant to." He smiled, like it was the answer he didn't know he wanted. We spent the day wandering ruins he'd never seen, though his hands moved over the carvings, like he was searching for something he couldn't name. At sunset, he turned to me. "Why do I feel safe with you?" I wanted to tell him everything, but I just smiled and said, "Maybe we met in a dream." He nodded slowly, and for the first time, he reached for my hand. I held it like it was the first time, but I remembered. It was the 73rd. Hit like if you've ever held someone who didn't remember holding you. Follow now. Part 4 will break you in the quietest way. He took me to the lake, like he always did. He said he wanted to show me something, a lake hidden behind the old monastery. I already knew it. He always found that lake, in every life, but I let him lead me there like it was new. His excitement was real, like it always was. We sat by the shore, feet in the cold water. He skipped a stone across the surface. "I come here when I feel lost," he said. He didn't know he said that in lifetime 29 and 46, and the one where we never even kissed. He turned to me. "Why do I feel like you already know everything about me?" I looked at him carefully. "Because I've listened, every time." He smiled, confused, but not afraid. He pulled a notebook from his bag. "I've been writing dreams down lately. They feel more like memories." On the first page, in faded ink, he'd written one word: her. If your heart just skipped, you're not alone. Hit like and follow. Part 5 is where the truth tries to surface, and she must stop it. The name on his tongue wasn't mine, but it was. He touched my hair like it was familiar, like muscle memory. Then he froze. What's your name again?" he asked, brows tightening. I told him, the name I've used in this life. He stared at me, then whispered, "No, that's not it." "What do you mean?" He looked shaken. "You have another name. I hear it in my sleep. It starts with an E. I say it every night." I felt the ground shift. That name was mine. In our very first life, a name I buried centuries ago. But I couldn't let him remember. So I smiled and said, "Must be your imagination." He frowned. "It feels important." He doesn't know how dangerous the truth is. Every time he remembers me too soon, something pulls us apart. And I'm not ready to lose him again. Have you ever had to hide your truth just to keep someone close? Hit like. Follow now. Part 6 is where the dream starts chasing him back. The name on his tongue wasn't mine, but it was. He touched my hair like it was familiar, like muscle memory. Then he froze. What's your name again? He asked, brows tightening. I told him, the name I've used in this life. He stared at me, then whispered, No, that's not it. What do you mean? He looked shaken. You have another name? I hear it in my sleep. It starts with an E. I say it every night. I felt the ground shift. That name was mine, in our very first life. A name I buried centuries ago, but I couldn't let him remember. So I smiled and said, Must be your imagination. He frowned. It feels important. He doesn't know how dangerous the truth is. Every time he remembers me too soon, something pulls us apart, and I'm not ready to lose him again. Have you ever had to hide your truth just to keep someone close? Hit like. Follow now. Part 6 is where the dream starts chasing him back. He drew me in his sketchbook, from a dream. He showed me his sketchbook one rainy afternoon, said he's been drawing faces he doesn't remember meeting. On the third page was me. Not how I look now, but how I looked in our 17th life. Same eyes, same pendant, same scar on my wrist I no longer have. I smiled tightly. Did you make that up? No, he said. I don't even know why I drew her. You. I wanted to cry, or scream, or tell him everything, but instead I whispered, Sometimes our soul remembers more than our mind. His hand froze over the drawing. I think I've loved you before, he said. For a moment, time held its breath. Then thunder rolled and the lights flickered. It was starting. The universe was waking up. And it does not like when soulmates break the rules. He remembers, but not fully. And the universe is listening. Smash the like button, follow, and don't miss part 7, before time rewrites the truth again. The girl in the mirror wasn't me anymore. That night, I looked in the mirror, and the reflection blinked before I did. Same face, same eyes, but her smile wasn't mine. She tilted her head, studied me. You're messing everything up again, she said. I backed away, heart pounding. Who are you? I'm the version of you who let him go in the 36th life, the one who obeyed the rules. The mirror cracked. I had peace. You want pain. I gasped, but she continued. The universe is already unraveling. If he remembers too much, it won't be just your love story that ends. Suddenly, I couldn't breathe. She reached out from the mirror, and I ran. But no matter how far I ran, her voice echoed. He's not yours anymore. Would you risk breaking reality for love? Tap follow like and brace yourself for part 8, where the past and present finally collide. The letter he was never meant to read. He found it, tucked away in the false bottom of the old music box I'd carried for lifetimes, hidden beneath broken trinkets and faded ribbons. He found the letter. I froze, not because he was holding it, but because I remembered what I wrote and what would happen if he read it. It was from Life 41, a version of me that had seen too much, loved too deeply, and broken beyond repair. That version of me left behind one rule: never let him remember. His fingers trembled as he unfolded the worn paper, his eyes scanning the words I barely dared write. If you ever find this, it means time has betrayed us again. You once loved me in 1,000 ways I'll never forget, but you forget, always, and I remember, every time. If you found this, don't try to remember me. Let me go. Please, let me go. I couldn't speak. My throat locked, my hands clenched so tight, my nails dug into skin, but he looked up and whispered, I know your name. And just like that, the world changed. The room flickered, not with light, but with memories. Firelight dancing on stone walls, ocean tides crashing as two figures kissed in the rain, the scent of lavender from a field we once lay in, laughing under stars. The weight of gold rings on fingers that no longer existed. They weren't visions. They were real, all of them. Lives we lived over and over, colliding into this one fragile moment. And then, the sound. A bell. Faint, echoing, like it came from far away, or far beyond. Not from this world. I turned slowly, heart pounding. They're coming, I said. He looked at me, confused. Who? And I answered, barely above a whisper. The ones who erase, the ones who never wanted us to remember. Part 9 is where secrets collapse and everything unravels. If you felt this, share it, save it, follow to see what they've been hiding. The silence between us. His eyes didn't recognize me anymore. I stood there, heart pounding, watching him laugh with someone else. the same laugh he once reserved for me across 7 lifetimes. The memory echoed louder than the moment itself. I tried to speak, but my voice caught in my throat. What could I say? Hey, we've danced beneath cherry trees in Edo, painted sunsets in Florence, counted stars on an alien shore, and every time it was you, always you. He wouldn't understand. Not in this life. I followed him quietly for days just to be close. I told myself I was protecting him from memories he wasn't ready for, but really, I was the one who wasn't ready to let go. Then came the piano. I heard it, our melody, being played in an empty gallery. And there he was, sitting at the grand piano, fingers hesitating over the keys. He looked up. Our eyes locked. For a moment, the world slowed. Time bent. I felt him searching my face, reaching for something just beyond reach. Then he blinked, smiled politely, and said, "Have we met before?" I wanted to cry, or laugh, or run, but I just nodded and whispered, "Only in every version of us." He tilted his head like he was trying to remember a dream that slipped away on waking. And then, silence. But in that silence, I heard everything. I turned and walked away. I didn't want him to chase me. I wanted him to remember. That night, I dreamt of a place where our souls met under stars that never aged. He touched my face and said, "I found you again?" But I woke up alone. Maybe the universe gives us echoes, not answers. If this moment pierced your soul, don't let it go. Like, subscribe, and follow the rest of this journey. Because maybe, just maybe, the ending is written in the stars, and still she waits. She watched the stars from the same quiet hill where they first met in this life. The village below had changed names, trees had grown taller, people forgot old stories, but she remembered everything. "You'll know it's me," he had once whispered, "because I'll always wear this too." But lifetime after lifetime, he never did. She had tried everything, changing paths, names, cities, even denying herself memories. But every life, the thread pulled her back to him. She always remembered. And now, she had grown tired, not bitter, not angry, just quiet. Some days, she wondered if he'd been reborn as someone entirely different. The final leaf fell from the old sycamore tree beside her. She closed her eyes and whispered into the night air, "I forgive you." As if in reply, a gust of wind carried the pendant from her palm and up into the starlit sky. She didn't chase it. She smiled. It was time. But as she turned to leave, a boy, barely 17, rushed up the hill, breathless, holding something in his palm. "Hey, this is yours, right?" he asked. He opened his hand. It was the pendant. Her eyes widened. She studied his face. He smiled. And for the first time in 73 lifetimes, she didn't feel the ache of recognition. She felt something deeper. He didn't know her name, but maybe, just maybe, he came back to learn it. Or maybe this was just another beginning. If her story touched your soul, if you've ever waited for something the world forgot, then don't scroll just yet. Hit like to honor her patience. Subscribe if you believe in love that travels through time. And comment, would you wait 73 lifetimes for someone who forgot you? Because maybe, just maybe, this story isn't over yet.